Remote's tutorial. So guys, in this tutorial we are going to see about the design pattern of MVVM. As you know, everyone are following up from merging and migrating from MVC to MVVM. In the recent time, wherever I go and those who are following our channel were requested to create a design pattern for MVVM, and they have requested a video. So based on their feel, I would like to share my what I think of MVVM and what is about clean architecture and all. So let's go for from start and let's kick off for the things. So what is MVVM? The explanation and expansion of MVVM is model view model. The migration from MVC to MVVM is very simple. The only reason behind this is in MVC everything has been occupied in the same controller. So if a project become a very big module and finding out of issue is very difficult to the developer, so they have created a new pattern called MVVM, and most of the developer in many higher order companies they use MVVM. The reason is like it was one of the clear design pattern and which used to developed by which used to followed by many developers, for example Google, Instagram, etc. So today in this tutorial we are going to see how to build a table view with the display of three strings, that's all, but we are going to do in a MVVM instead of normal MVC. So that's a only thing, and then another other than this nothing is there in this project. So but the thing is like we are just going to do whatever pattern in MVC, and we are going to utilize an protocol oriented languaging concept here. So before go that, let me create a new project. File, new uh, project. So let's keep a name as it's going to be a single view application, MVVM design pattern. So I'm going to use storyboard, I'm not going to use shift UI now, and everything is ready. Let's go for next and choose your desired path where you want to save and click create and click create again. So the product is cleared. Initially you will be getting a screen video. If you are using Xcode 11.1 and higher, you will be seeing a screen delegate or shift file. Please ignore it. It will be purely depend on the shift UI concept. So let me go for the view controller. Before going for a view controller, let me go and create a UI interfaces in the main storyboard. So the view controller is available here, and before creating any view, just add a navigation controller here which helps to transfer from one page to another page. So let's go in for editor and embedding and navigation controller. Yes, so navigation controller create. Now you can transfer or push or pop from one page to another page. So let me go to create an UI table view. So let me pin from top to bottom 000. And let's going to give a title. So let me keep as message. So this is a table view. I'm going to create outlet for delegate and data source, and I'm going to take an outlet for this table view. Okay, so the table view is created. Next thing we are going to create is a table view cell. Table view is created, so surely table view cell has to create it. So let's go for shift main and click on new file and go for Cocoa Touch class and select a UI table view cell, and let me keep as UI table view cell itself, and also I'm going to create an XIB file. And many developers are used to create an XIB file. The reason behind this, you can utilize this XIB file in further screens. In case same two screens have the same UI design, means at that time you can utilize this XIB, and single code base work for two view screens. But instead, if you create in the main storyboard itself, it will be more difficult, and you have to copy it and paste it there also. So it's a better practice to go for a table view cell itself. So language is surely it's going to be a shift, and let's create next. and path is created. So the table view and table view cell is created. I'm going to design a label over here, so that our table view is going to be simply a label, nothing more than that. So the label is going to be 0 0 0 0, and label is going to be in the center. I am going to uh, green color label, and I'm going to change the font with bold of 20. Okay, so the setup is ready, and we are going to create an outlet for this table view cell, and let's keep a name as label itself. And guys, I'm just creating label as label and button as button. So while you are creating app, you just have to create an so as we discussed, like let me want to create an label outlet for this UI table view cell. So I'm going to create an label for this UI table view cells. I'm going to keep a name called label. Okay, so the label is created, and we need to give an reuse identifier for this table view, and in storyboard itself we can give. And here we need to create a variable for the nib and cell reuse identifiers string. So let me go for static let nib name equals the same name of the table view name, and another is cell identifier. So that is also going to be a same. So the table view is created, and the table view cell is created in the main view controller. We have created a table view. So what next? We are just going to going to write every classes in this in a separate view controller. So it's going to be initially a model, second one is a view model, and third one is a view. So its view is going to be interact with the view model, and the view model, as it's going to be a own business logic everything, and the model is a separate class. It's consist of the model of the what we are going to do. So let me go and set up UI first. So initially I'm going to extend this view controller, and I'm going to create a UI related works over here. Setup. So it's going to be a private function setup UI. So let's first let me keep a title for our initial page. So it's going to be channel, and we are going to register a table view cell. So let me create another function called register our table view. Yes, I have created another function, and let me register it. So table view dot we just need to register a table view with the nib name and the reuse identifier. So I'm just going to paste it here, and I have created a nib name of table view cells nib name and table view cells. So we have created a beautiful register our table view. So once we register our table view, we need to call this function over here. Yes, we have called it, and the setup UI function we are going to call in the view did load delegate. So the setup is ready, and we just want to create an table view extensions for this. So I'm going to create table view extensions for delegates and data source. So it's going to be UI table view delegate and data source. So I'm going to extend a view controller with the parent class of UI table view delegate comma UI table view data source. Yes, just run it and use and utilize the stub functionality. So it's we are going to return now on how many number of rows are there in it. So totally I'm going to be sending the dummy value. So we just need to create an cell. So I'm going to create an guard for it, guard cell equal to table view. So I'm going to return a dummy with table view cell. So this is going to be dot dq identifier as table view cell and cell identifier. Else we are going to return UI table view cell. Otherwise we are going to return this cell. Yes. Yeah, I have left out the date. Yes, product is built. Okay, so we have just created a table view and we have just listed the list of 10 things and it's ready. So yeah, so the table view is listed with the list of 10. Here we are going to separate a view model for the view controller class and view model for the table view cells class. First let me create a view model for this view controller. So we need to bind the data statically here. Instead we need to bind the data from the service call or internal storage or user default and whatever unix. So whatever logic we have to create a view model for this. So let me go and create a new view model for this view controller. It's going to be a shift file. So let me name it as view model. Yes, the view model file is created. So I'm going to create a class called view model implementation. So it's going to be a message, right? So let me keep as message for message view model implementation, and this message view model implementation, and I'm going to create another protocol called message view model. So in this it's going to be written how many number of messages are there. So message count. It's going to return an int variable, and it's also going to return message list service. So we need to create an once we have been created any variable in this protocol, means we have to declare whether it is set property or get property. So surely it's going to be a set and get, and we are going to create another function which will give a list of models are available. So like let's get a message list. And it's going to be a completion block. like we just know going to create an completions for this, and okay, fine, and we just have to do escaping of completion like this. Yes, it's done. So once we have been created a view model protocol implementation, I'm just going to implement this to our class file. So I'm going to keep a parent name as parent class as this, and we just want to utilize a stubs functionalities, and it's going to return whatever message leads and whatever message count, etc. So the first one is it's going to return the message list count. So before we need to create an variable called message, and it's going to be of type of model, something like that. So, and I'm just going to stop the implementation here. Before going to, we need to create a model file for this. So the model file is generally, it's going to be a label and it's going to display the message. So let's create a model called, it's going to be a shift file model. Yes, so I'm going to utilize the structure, and I'm just going to keep my model name as my model, and it's going to return a simple message of type string. That's it. So so this message has been going to create an array of my models, and this my model is going to return this message dot count. Yes, that has been defined. Yes, everything is done. And get message list. So in that get message list only, we need to do a service call, or if you want, you can get user default values from here, or we can utilize core data like here. So whatever we need to do the networking related work, we have to do in the message list alone. So like doing error like okay, yeah. So like message list count, it's going to only the get property, it's not going to set property, and that's the reason it's showing alert. So yes, we have created, and we have it's working fine for the getting data, and we are just going to return a model where we are going to just get the message list, and this message list, it's going to be a service call or user default or core data. So let me create an object of type message my model. So let me create an message 1 equals to So first message is happy, and the second object I am going to keep 2 and 3, and it's going to new, it's going to year. Yes, the 3 strings got available, and we just need to append these 2 things in our object. So let's keep object dot append new element of message 1 first, and it's going to be continue for message 2 and message 3. So it's going to message 3 and it's going to message 0. So this object is containing the value of the entire model, and we are just going to return this message to the object. So it's going to be a var, and this internally this returning to this particular message, so it's also going to var. Yes, the build has been successfully returned. Yes, it's resolved. So once the service call or code data is completed, here I am utilizing the creating a model here for working purpose, for teaching purpose. You can use code data or whatever you need. So I'm going to do the completion here. So the completion, also you can handle error if you want. So in networking call there may be a possibility of error occurs, so you can also handle the error here. Yes, so everything is completed. So let me go for a view controller. So before going to that, let me arrange. First it has to be a view controller, and it has a cell and view model and model. Yes, so I'm going for a view controller. In this view controller I'm just going to create an object for the view model. Let's keep a name for the object is let view model equals to of type model message view model. I'm going to implement this as message view model implementation. Yes, and this message view model, it's going to call another method. I'm going to create another pragma mark for private methods. Let's keep another extensions for it. Yes, it's been created, and I'm going to create another functions call for fetching the data from the server or local, whatever you do. Private, yes, private function fetch data, and through the use of the view model only I'm going to fetch the data, and this is the get message list. And once the message has been occurred, I'm going to just reload my table. So I'm going to create another function called reload table view. So I'm going to call this function here. Yes, it's done. So here I'm going to reload the table view. Table view dot reload. Yes, it's done. So here number of rows in section is 0. This too I'm getting through help of the view model alone. So view model dot message list count. Yes, so that's it. So here I have utilized a view model, but everything is completed, and once again we are going to utilize for the self for a row index. So self for a row index as a separate view model for this. The reason is like the cell view model is one of the new concepts which we are going to implement here, and we need to create another view models for the cell or table view cells, whatever you utilize. For example, some use take connections view, some use table views. We need to create another cell view model for it. For that we need to create another cell view model. So let's go and start. Yes, it's going to keep a name called new file. Next, cell view model. Yes, the cell view model is created, and I'm going to create another class for the cell view model, and it's going to be a message list cell view implementation. Yes. So basically it's going to have an init, it's going to initialize the model. So let's take a model, get a message object message of type message model. My model. Yes. So it's going to be initialize the model of type my model. Yes, it's done. And next thing, we are going to create a protocol as we have created for the view model. Here for table cell view model also we are going to create a protocol. Let's keep a name as cell view model. Yes, it's going to have word called a message string of type string. So here we are going to extend this class. So extension message view of type protocol of message list cell model. Yes, it's done. So I'm going to set property for this. Yes. So it's going to be a error, and we are just going to go for the stubs, and only we are going to get this. So no set. So here we are going to return message. I'm going to change the name here. Yes, it's done. So the cell view model is created. So that's a use of the cell view model. So let me go for a view model. Yes, let me go for a view model. So in that view model we need to create another function for the cell view model. So go and cell view model, it's going to take index of what my index they are going to do. So it's of type int, and it's going to return cell view model. So here it's going to error, and use of stub, copy it and paste it here, and it's going to return the cell view model implementation. So here we are just going to return of the model type. So let me take a model object equals, here we have an entire model at index of this. So the model will be returned here, model object will be returned here. Yes, it's done. Yes, it's done. Let me build it. Yes, it's building success. So next thing we need to go for the table view cell is here. We need to extend this table view cell, and we have to configure the table view cell. So table view cell, and we are just going to create a function called function configure, and we are going to take an index of the string, index of the object, and next thing we are going to get an cell view model. Yes, it's done. So here for label we are going to implement the or like draw the labels text, whatever it's coming from the service. label. So let's keep self dot label dot text equals cell view model dot message string. Yes, it's done. So the last and the foremost thing that we need to do is like we have to configure this to our view controller. So in this view controller we have to go for here and cell for auto index, and we have to write the code for configure. Let me build it again. Yes, it's configure, and index path is going to be index path dot row, and cell view model, like here the cell view model we need to get from the view model. So let's keep cell view model equals to view model dot cell view model at index path dot row, and we are just going to pass this cell view model to configure cell, and this configure cell as a label. Let's run and check whether it's working correctly or not. No, it's not working. Let me figure it out. Yes, the reason is we haven't called the fetch data itself. So we need to call the fetch data in the view code. Yes, it's done. Yeah, great. We have been created a project in MVVM. So let me explain you from the scratch through this one. So here we are going to create a view model. It's going to view, and it's going to act as a view controller, and the view model is going to be have an entire logic what we need to do here, and the model is simply a model file, and the table view cells has its own view model, cell view model, and it's going to be here it's going to be have a business logic, and the view model is going to be a setup UI data initially and fetch the data from the view model, and it's going to be returned a cell. Return, it's going to be written how many counts of message it's there, and once it's been success means we are just reloading, and here we are just getting the count, and here we are just having a cell view model, and the cell view model it's going to be have the entire business logic over here, and it's just going to be a return a cell, and this we are going to be passing the configuration of the table view cells and just displaying the result. That's it. So it is one of the simple concept of the MVVM which I used to do follow, and hope you guys understand this, and if you have any queries also you can ask, and also I just update this particular project in the GitHub link. You can also download and get utilize of this. Cheers guys, and another thing I just need to say you is happy new year, and go ahead and achieve your aim in your career wise. So all the best guys, thank you so much, bye bye.